time that you've got available, use that using the mobile platform. I think that's where I see this going, where we do see a lot of enterprises going big way into mobility.
So Vijay, what are the kind of challenges around mobility that are faced by enterprises today, perhaps in terms of innovation or adoption?
Right. See, the challenges are both sides, innovation and adoption. Yes. In innovation, the challenges are like, for example, a logistics industry and who's at the end point from the stocking, at the stocking yard. You will find a special device for it. You go out and sit in a car and there's a mobility that is connecting to the car driver for a car's taxi service. There's a special hardware there. There's a special hardware at many places when we go out and see when there's a mobility thing. I think that's where we need to stop that. There's one single device which is connecting every human being today, right? It's about adoption of that mobility into that platform, whether, it could be an Android, it could be a smartphone, it could be anything that, please try to get into that place. Why we are not able to adopt that readily is, once again, that we try to keep ourselves like this. Even we talk about mobility, we'll say, okay, you please have 4 different devices, you travel, I connect to those devices. I think we should get rid of that. We should go and say that, okay, you have your device, get connected to me.
So what mobility solutions have you guys come up with in terms of increasing business efficiency, making processes simple and faster?
What we've done is we cater to every industry that you need. Maybe manufacturing, within manufacturing, if you have automotive industry or an aerospace or the oil and gas, we have products which are catered for specifically for each of these industries. For example, we will have a mobile RPAS. So gradually, if sometimes you will find that you go to a movie theater, you will find somebody carrying, and instead of you standing on the queue, the person will come to you and he will do the ticketing for you right there, right? You'll have a card swapper and everything done there. So those are mobility at its peak. So it gives you a different experience.
Devendra, in an interview you said that UIDAI will bring data privacy to the fore. What are some of the innovations you see cropping up in this space?
Okay, so data privacy is an area which is just emerging as a hot button in India. The difference between information security and data privacy is privacy concerns individual data, personal data. Information security is related to corporate data or organizational data. So if you go to an interview, they'll ask you everything about what your parents do, what your mother does, what your salary of your brother is, everything will be asked. You go to the developed markets, most of these questions are considered intrusion of your privacy. So culturally, what we as Indians consider privacy is very different from what the rest of the world. So India has to, given the fact that now we have an Aadhaar program where the big brother or the government of India is in possession of so much data, critical data, yes, right? It's very important that we are consumers, right? As of the governance, we are consumers of governance. So the government of India is now in the process of implementing a Privacy Act or enacting a Privacy Act. We have a Section 43A in the IT Act, but the Privacy Act is being passed very soon, hopefully if things go well in the next session. And hopefully we'll have one of the landmark legislations in that space.
Now, before I let you guys go, my final question, which of the 4 pillars of the new style of IT do you see developing faster in India and why? Devendra, we'll start with you.
Enterprise mobility, and the reason is every individual in the country today has a cell phone. That you will not believe it, but 10% of cell phone penetration is smartphone penetration. Sure. 4G is around the corner. So I think more than, so we're going to do a technology leapfrog.
Sanjeev.
Same, I'll go with enterprise mobility. It's absolutely critical, and it's going to take a quantum leap.
Vijay, Anand, any disagreement?
Right, so I don't have any disagreement. I believe enterprise mobility is in today, but at the same time, I would say the cloud is the next big thing that is going to happen.
All right, Mr. Sodhi.
Hardware is going to take a second space, right? The software as a services, SaaS or cloud. That will emerge as a big market.
Sachin, your views on that?
Enterprise mobility would be adopted quite fast. Though what I do also believe is in terms of the impact on enterprises, big data I believe is going to have much far-reaching impact
Well, it's quite funny that none of you chose security to be developing the fastest in India. And thank you, audience, for being patient and lovely. And thank you, panelists, for joining us here tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.